Welcome back to the channel. In the previous video we set up a Kafka broker using Docker, created a topic and tested producer and consumer, all from the command line. Today we are taking the next step. I'm going to show you how to build a Kafka consumer using Spring Boot, including configuration, message handling and listener control. So let's get started. In IntelliJ we create new Spring Boot project. Let's create one. Spring Boot, let's call it Kafka demo, Maven, ping MVC to create some REST controller. This is not needed for Kafka. For Kafka there is a separate starter, this one. This is provided here under messaging. And we create. Project has been created. We check the POM file and see which dependency has been added. So this is the web MVC and this is the starter for Kafka. It comes with everything you need to deal with Kafka. We define our listener, so we create a new class like this. We define our class. Let's call it, for example, demo Kafka listener, annotated with service. We add login, so it is just a normal service, and we define a method to listen to a specific Kafka topic. So this is our method and it accepts this argument. So consumer record from the Kafka starter package, it is annotated with this annotation Kafka listener. We provide an ID. You can put whatever you want. So ID is important if you later on you need to access this listener remotely, stop it, as we will see later. And here it is the topic. We have one topic named demo topic and the group. The group ID is used to identify the client. Each client has an ID. So at this way the Kafka broker identify our client, and this one auto startup, the default value is true. So you have two possibilities. When you start your service, you can also not automatically run the listener. In some cases this is useful, so this is the default. We can omit this one, but for our demo we keep it like this, and we have to provide some configuration in our application properties. So let's convert it to a YAML file, and inside it we need to add some information to connect to our topic. And as you see, this is the information. The Kafka is running on our local host, listening to this port or providing this port, and the consumer could also omit this information here, and because in our listener we defined this information. But this one is also important. Enable auto commit. This really is very crucial by default. So if we omit this, the default value is true. Each time you consume message, the client send a commit or acknowledgement to the broker saying that okay, I read the message, and the broker will not send it again. And the only possibility to reread the messages, there is use cases, is to change the client ID. So to listen with another client, and at this way the broker will send you the information again. We'll see that later on. So we are now almost done. So let's run and see. So as you see, it is really pretty simple, easy to achieve using Spring Boot. Now I run the server, and as you see here the information. So now the next step, we send some information and see whether they will be consumed or not. So now using the command line, we can send messages to the broker using this producer. So let's say, for example, and as you see, our Spring Boot has received the information as well. And you see that the offset is set to 4 because we are committing each time we consume the information. And this is the message, the value. So now if we rerun the listener like this, we rerun the listener, and we see that we are not receiving the message from the beginning. As you can see here, no information has been received because the Kafka broker knows our offset. So one way, a bit dirty, is to change the client or the group ID. So if you put here 7, for example, and rerun, so this client is considered to be new. And as you see, we will get all old messages. This is also one way I use it in the production even. So now let's do the commit manually, or this acknowledgement. So for that, I will define a new listener. I defined this second one, so I can set that to be no auto startup, so false, just to have only one, or we can remove it even from our service. We have now a new one. Let's give another ID 8, for example, the same topic. And the difference, so we have this argument acknowledgement. So when consuming the information, you can tell Kafka broker, okay, I receive it or not. So you will control that. You will have full control. I will not commit that I read the information. In the configuration, we set this to false. There is some use cases where this makes sense. Now, when we rerun, listener has to be let adjusted. We see that no thanks has been received, and this because in our definition we set this parameter to false. We set it now to true. You know, this parameter, the default value is true. So if you omit it, it will be automatically started. Now if we rerun the server, the listener will be also automatically run, as you can see now, and the old messages has been received. So one more thing, in the production I also use controller to remotely start or stop a listener or check the status, and for that I just implement a controller like this. I create this one, REST API. So this is our Kafka controller. The Kafka starter provide this class, the registry, and you can go through it. And here, as you see, so this is the endpoint. Post this one to start controller, you provide the ID of the controller, the ID as defined here. For example, this is the ID manual listener, or you can call it what you want. And this can get the instance of your listener and check whether it is running or not, and you can start it. So this is a simple method. And here I have the stop. So I can also stop the controller remotely. This is really very useful instead of shutting down the entire service. This is very practical. And this one is just to check the status of your controller. This is a get endpoint. We can test it. So first we need to rerun it. And we open new terminal. So I have all command here. Let's create new text file. So the name, so this is the get to get the status. We need only to provide the name of our listener. So this is the name or the ID. Let's run this command. So remotely you can check, and you see it is running. So let's stop it. And as you see, you can stop it remotely. We can check again the status. So it is stopped, and you can start it again remotely. This trick is very helpful in the production. So you have the ability, if for maintenance purposes, you can stop the listener without having to shut down the entire services. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.